These photos was taken in Okpanku, Aninri local government area in Enugu State. These are my NYSC colleagues, the NEMA Emergency Management Vanguard, CDS Group, Okpanku Zone. We were there for CDS meeting, sensitization and sanitation exercises. We showed up, we did the work, we lived in these communities. And I want to tell you something about the people of Okpanku and the surrounding riverine communities along the Ivo River Basin. They are not primitive. They are not backward. They are not waiting to be civilized. These are communities that have managed their own land, water, and natural resources for generations, long before Nigeria existed as a nation, long before the federal government drew its boundaries and declared itself their government. They have practiced fishing, farming, and resource stewardship as a way of life. They built social system, community structures, and livelihoods with what they had. And then they supported democracy. They registered, they voted, participated in the national project. What did the national project give them back? No electricity, contaminated water bodies, abandoned infrastructures rotting in the rivers they depend on, no cold storage, no processing centers, no road connectivity, no voice in the rooms where decisions about their futures are made. Okpanku and the communities along the Ivo River Basin are seasonal flood zones. Every year, rising water levels disrupt livelihoods, damage property, displace families, and destroy whatever small gains these communities have managed to make. This is not a future risk. This is an annual reality. This is precisely why NEMA, the National Emergency Management Agency, matters here. Disaster risk reduction is not only about responding after the flood. It's about building resilient communities before the flood comes. It's about giving people the infrastructure, the early warning systems, the post-disaster recovery support, and the long-term investment that turns vulnerable communities into prepared ones. We were trained, we were deployed, we responded, but NEMA's presence in these communities needs to be sustained. Not a one-time intervention during a crisis, but a long-term partnership with local governments, community leaders, and development organizations to reduce the underlying vulnerabilities that make every flood, every disruption, every failed harvest more devastating than it needs to be. This is why I'm calling on the FAO and the IFAD to pay attention to places like Okpanku. The FAO small-scale fisheries guidelines cover virtually every challenge I observed here. Responsible governance of tenure and access rights, food security and sustainable livelihoods, social development and gender equity, value chain development and market access, environmental sustainability and disaster resilience. These are not abstract policy themes. These are the daily realities of the people in this fertile community. The framework exists, the need is documented, the people are ready. What is missing is the political will to treat rural communities as full citizens and the institutional commitment to bring the resources to the ground level rather than keeping them in conference rooms and capital cities. I am one person. I did what I could with what I had: water quality solutions, community engagement, emergency response, environmental monitoring, and advocacy. For sustainable change requires systems, not individuals. If you have the power to direct resources, policy attention, or institutional support towards communities like in Okpanku, this post is for you. The people here have a voice. I am helping them use it.